Cursing Mushroom here, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video, Guardians. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a guide on how to get the Malfeasance hand cannon. It was a fantastic ride, let me tell you. The Malfeasance is here and it's here to stay, so get in there and get yours before it's too late. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the steps as follows and show you gameplay at the same time. So let's get into the first step and get on with this guide video. Okay, now this is going to be how to actually get the quest. Now if you notice any bars in the bottom of the screen with my logo, just like so, that's going to be telling you important information, so make sure you check that out. If you got to pause it or whatever, that's fine. Now what you have to do is you have to actually play Gambit, and this is RNG based if you get this boss or not. It is called the Ascendant Primeval Servitor. It looks just like the campaign boss. It's identical. You can't miss it once it happens. It's obviously different. When I was playing Gambit afterwards for some of the other quest steps, I noticed when I actually invaded to the other side when he spawned on our side, I noticed that the servitor spawns on both sides. So it's going to be a frantic run to who kills the boss first. I've only noticed him spawning one time per match, and it's very random, so there's no guarantee you're going to get him anyways. So be mindful of that. When it's time to take him down, you want to get your team together and take him down, because if the other team takes him out, there's probably a really high chance you're not going to see him again for a while. Also, be mindful that there are blights that will protect him when you're trying to do damage. So make sure you take those out quickly, so that way you can continue your DPS phase and not lose, because you want to kill this boss. It's the only way to actually get the quest steps going. That's the only way. So be mindful of that. So make sure you take your best sets of gear. If you don't have the quest, get your buddies together. If you don't have buddies, solo queue it. I solo queued and for like 4 or 5 hours and never got the boss. Once I took 2 friends in there, the first match we got him. So be mindful of that. That's the only way you're going to get the Seething Heart first quest step. Now let's get on to the actual first step of the quest. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to kill 25 taken mini bosses or bosses, it doesn't matter. And that's the yellow bars or orange bars, whatever you want to call them, that are named. Now the best way that we found that you could do this is you want to go into the Shattered Throne dungeon, and in the beginning of the actual dungeon there are 7 plates that you have to actually destroy bosses at, mini bosses, and they all happen to be taken yellow bar mini bosses, so it counts towards your kills. So what you do is you go to this dungeon, you get the 7 kills. Once you kill the 7th one, have your fire team leader take you back to orbit and rinse and repeat. It's the fastest way I could find to farm this without being just cheesy, you know what I mean? So that's the best way that we found to do it. Now, obviously, if your power is not high enough, I do recommend either waiting to do this quest or just doing it as you play, because there are parts of this quest that are going to require you to be a 580. So be mindful of that. This is the best way we found it. Rush in here, kill the 7. Don't continue because it'll hold your progress. And then just jump back to orbit, rinse, and repeat. Now let's get on to the second step. Now for the second step, you're going to have to complete the Darkness and the Light mission. Now this is a 580 recommended power mission. So if you're not there yet, you can do it 565, 560s if you've got a good team and you play well together. But the whole purpose of this mission is to find Callum and find out what has happened to him. Now, all you're pretty much doing is running through the Corrupted Strike with harder enemies, okay? There's a bunch of Void and Arc shields, so I recommend having Void and Arc shield busters. And not probably shotguns, more like scouts, snipers, fusion rifles, stuff you can be a little bit of range because they do hurt when they smack you around. And that's pretty much it for this step. Just complete this mission, get to the end, find out what happened to Callum, and then you'll be ready to move on to the third step. Now for the third step in this quest line, it's going to bring you back to Gambit. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get 10 Gambit wins and 400 to 500 moat deposits. Now I couldn't get the exact number because the percentage seemed off, but my rough estimate is about 500 deposits. Now the kicker is, with this, if you die while holding moats, you lose 2 times that progression. For example, if you're carrying 10 motes and you die, you're going to lose 20 motes worth of progression towards this quest step. So I recommend play at your advantage, whatever you're the best at. If you're best at PvE, PvP, whatever it is, take that build into Gambit and rock it. Now, obviously, if you have a team, it's going to be much easier. I literally played this whole quest step by myself, and I did not care. I took full advantage of my abilities. I went in there as a PvE monster. I equipped all my best gear for PvE activities, and that's what I did. I tried to stay away from having more than 10 motes because I didn't want the risk to be so high that when I died, if I did die, I would lose all of that progression. Now, another thing to be mindful is, Guardians, make sure you're watching the bars at the top of the scoreboard. Watch your enemy team's progression. The little tick marks indicate that they can send over an invader, and be mindful of that because you don't want to have motes when they're about to send over an invader. So do what you can to dunk them before they get in and get as many as you can once they've left. So try to play this to the best of your abilities and at the same time win games, right? This step actually took me probably the longest. It took me about 2.5, 3 hours because the problem I was having is I got all the motes really quickly, but the wins kind of stumped me. I pretty much won like 7 out of 9 or 10 games in a row. And then the last 2 or 3, I just could not win here early in the morning. I just couldn't win, so it took a lot longer. But just be mindful, play to your strengths, make sure you're paying attention to the progress bar for both teams, and get rid of those motes when you got them. Get as many as you can when no one's around. Play it safe, play your way, and we're going to move on to step number 4. Now, for the 4th step in this elaborate quest, I love it, you have to get 25 Guardian kills while playing Gambit as an invader, which means you're going to have to invade and at least kill 25 Guardians. The best way I can say to do this is, honestly, use your best PvP kit. Me personally, I liked using the sniper, the rocket launcher, and a hand cannon because the sniper helped me get enemies from far range. Hand cannon helped me eliminate enemies quickly when mid to close range. And then the rocket launcher was like, you know, negate this, negate that. A lot of people will recommend sleeper, and that's fine, but that's just not my playstyle. I do use the sleeper sometimes, but I notice I get more PvP Gambit kills when I'm actually invading, not using it. It's really good when people are invading you, but this requires you to get invasion kills. Now, another thing that's very interesting about this quest step, so you have to get 4 Guardian kills on a single invasion. You have to wipe the team. Now, this can be done 2 different ways. If you're not the greatest PvP player, that is fine because I am not either, but I have a little bit of skill and sometimes it works out for me. But what you can do is you can get your buddies together, and all you have to do is get your teammate to get 4 kills on a single invasion. So they have to wipe the team, but they have to do it 3 separate times, which means you can either get the 4 kills by yourself or you can have a teammate get the 4 kills for you, but they have to do it 3 times. So if you got one of those friends that's just amazing at PvP and you're not that great, I recommend you bring them along and say, hey, I need your help with this. Would you help me out? I'm sure they'd be willing to help you. And you just worry about the PvE enemies and win the match so you can get that precious loot. Now let's move on to the 5th and final step of the quest. Now at this point, you're probably like, what do I have to do next? Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. Well, to be honest, you've made it. You've made it to the end, Guardian. Claim your Malfeasance and bask in the glory of this beautiful weapon. We're not going to go into the details of what the weapon can do, other than it's a 180 kinetic hand cannon with a magazine size of 15. When you hit a target multiple times in a row, it causes the bullets to explode on the target, which is really nice. I haven't had a lot of game time with it simply because I wanted to get this guide to you guys, and I really hope this guide has helped you. If this guide has helped you, please give me a like on the video, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can always subscribe to my channel with a little red bar. And don't forget, Guardians, hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. But anyways, Guardians, that's going to be it for today's video. Please let me know in the comments if you've got your Malfeasance yet and what you think about it. But I hope you have a great afternoon, morning, day, or night, wherever you may be. As usual, Cursing Mushroom out.